Summer 2022 has been fun, not only in my personal life, but also in the time I've taken to go to the theaters and watch movies, or all of the movies and shows I watched on my couch from home. There were plenty of highlights and lowlights, ups and downs, and that's exactly what I expected. It wasn't a perfect summer, and no summer ever is, but I had a lot of fun watching everything I watched. With that being said, I'm going over everything I watched this summer, whether it be television shows or new movies that came out in theaters or even old movies that I watched for the first time. Every single thing I watched this summer, I will be talking about in this video. Real quick though, I want to take this moment to ask if you could please follow me on Instagram. As of recently, I've turned my Instagram into a movies only page. And just like on YouTube, I do reviews, make rankings, and provide all the movie/TV related content to satisfy the average cinephile. Give me a follow when you get the chance. So we begin with Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Disney Plus original TV series that was my most anticipated title of any form of entertainment that came out in 2022. I was so pumped for this show. I did an in-depth review back when the show ended in June, and as you know, I thought the show was borderline terrible. It could have been so much more. I went into the show expecting something similar to episode 3, at least maybe capture the same vibes we got from that movie in 2005, and instead we got another Disney Plus original series. Sadly, the show chose to focus more on new characters like the Inquisitors over Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the show is called Obi-Wan Kenobi. It should have been about Obi-Wan on Tatooine, maybe going on a small adventure, and we see him suffering from PTSD of some sort after the events that occurred in episode 3. That would have been great. That's all I wanted. We didn't need this massive space adventure where he has to rescue Princess Leia and then the Inquisitors want to take him out for Darth Vader. Plus, the show fails from a writing, acting, and action standpoint. Obi-Wan Kenobi's action was supposed to be somewhat reminiscent of the prequels' lightsaber duels, and yet they are so much better than the lightsaber duels we get in Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's only 2, maybe 3 if you want to count Reva, but the first one between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader was pathetic. The second one, I could barely see anything going on, and the one between Reva and Darth Vader lasted like 30 seconds, if that, so this show really disappointed me. However, The Boys Season 3 did not disappoint. I love the first 2 seasons. The best part about the show has always been how it portrays superheroes differently than every other media has in history. This show doesn't make superheroes look like great people, because if they existed, I'm sure not every superhero would be a good person. They're kind of like politicians in the show, and as many of you know, politicians are not good people. Most of them are not. And so this show definitely shines a lot of light on that. And season 3 upped the ante. It was no longer just about how are we going to take down Homelander and Vought. This season instead was like, okay, clearly trying to take Homelander down and revealing his corruption will not do anything. We need to kill this guy. In comes Soldier Boy, and I absolutely loved every single scene with Soldier Boy plus the boys. It was such a fun dynamic in season 3. My only issue with this season was the political commentary. Up until now, I couldn't tell where the showrunners leaned in terms of politics, and then by season 3, they showed their colors. I knew exactly where they leaned. They only made fun of the Republican Party. They didn't at all touch the surface with the Democratic Party. And from the beginning, had they decided to make fun of both parties equally, you wouldn't have isolated one party or fan base entirely. Now, it's like the show's only made for one half of your fan base. So I think in season 4, they had to make up for it a little bit. But the best show I saw this summer was Stranger Things season 4. It might possibly be my favorite season yet of the series. The only season that has competition against it is season 1 in my opinion. But honestly, you can't go wrong with any of Stranger Things because this show from beginning to end has been perfection. I freaking love Stranger Things. It might be my favorite show. Every single time a new season comes out, I am blown away, and season 4 proves that the Duffer Brothers still know exactly what they're doing. Of course, this season was a little long. I don't think every episode needed to be more than an hour, but sometimes you got into that hour and 30 range, and the finale was over 2 hours long, so it was a very long season, and sometimes it felt like I just watched the same old thing thing over and over again, and I just wanted them to cut to the chase, but it took a while to get there, and the payoff is great. I didn't complain about that. This season mainly did three things well. First and foremost, you chose to separate the characters once again, just like in season 3, and that keeps things moving. It's a lot more interesting. You have these different character interactions, which many of the time it can be super funny. I loved all that. Then with the characters getting older, you chose to make the show more mature, which I thought was an excellent decision. I mean, there are some scenes in season 3 that I could not believe made the final cut of a TV-14 TV show. That is crazy. A few kills in season 4 were so gory, it blows my mind how they were even in this season to begin with. It shouldn't have been TV-14. I thought maybe TVMA would have been more appropriate after some of the brutal kills in season 4, but hey, I'm not complaining. If you want teenagers and younger kids to still watch it, I understand. Just so you know, though, they're probably going to have nightmares for the next year. And the villain of season 4, Vecna, he was awesome, truly horrifying. He feels like a threat. I swear I can still hear Vecna's clock. It's ringing in my ears. Also, the twist at the end of episode 7, right before you get into part 2 of season 4, was one of the most incredible twists I've ever seen in TV history. Truly phenomenal writing. They should be applauded. The Duffer Brothers did what most writers can never achieve, and that was breaking barriers. I've never seen anything done like that before at the end of episode 7 in season 4. Job well done. This season was incredible. Okay, what about all the new releases I saw this summer? Well, let's talk about my highlight and lowlight of the summer. My highlight, far and away, Top Gun Maverick. This movie was a total blast. I did not expect this movie to be nearly as good as it was, and now it's my favorite movie of 2022. My expectations were so low, and now they are sky high for the rest of Tom Cruise's movies, and if they choose to do any more Top Gun movies, I will not complain. I don't even like the original Top Gun, okay, people? I don't think it's a good movie. So for me to go from disliking the original to absolutely loving the sequel and considering it one of my top 50 favorite movies of all time, that is truly saying something. Top Gun Maverick is still in theaters. If you have not seen it yet over the last 3 months, go watch it now before it leaves theaters, because it is a movie that needs to be experienced in the theater. Now, my low light of the summer, as you may have guessed, is Jurassic World Dominion. The main reason being that this film could have been one of the best Jurassic Park movies of all time, and instead they chose to focus on anything other than the dinosaurs. Just a complete misfire. I have no idea what they were thinking when making Jurassic World Dominion. All you gotta do is have the world being taken over by dinosaurs and have the humans try to figure out this issue. But instead, they're just like, no, let's just forget about the dinosaurs. People don't want to see that anymore. We've seen it 5 times already. Let's think of something new. That's dumb. It's time for the rapid fire round now, guys. Let's talk about every movie I saw that was not a new release in 2022. First up is The Wrestler, probably the best non-2022 movie I've seen this year. As a fan of professional wrestling, this further solidifies Darren Aronofsky as a force to be reckoned with. I cannot wait for The Whale. Then there's Cabin in the Woods. My roommate loves this film. I thought it had interesting ideas, but it's not quite the movie for me. The Terminal by Steven Spielberg had thought-provoking themes and made me care an awful lot about Tom Hanks' character. Vanilla Sky is a mind-numbing, very confusing watch, but at least it has Tom Cruise. Buried is a great original survival thriller for about the first hour and 20 minutes, and then the ending just fell flat for me. Freaky is a Vince Vaughn slasher comedy that I had a good time watching. This one should not be overlooked. Total Recall is a super cool Arnold Schwarzenegger classic sci-fi movie that is a must-watch. Kick-Ass was one of Aaron Taylor Johnson's first big movies. It's really funny and has a great story about what if superheroes existed in real life. Burn After Reading is a hilarious Coen Brothers movie that's another must-watch. The Birdcage starring Robin Williams cracked me up. My family members loved the movie, so I had to watch it. It did not disappoint. 127 Hours and Into the Wild were 2 brutal survival movies that did not waste a single second of my time, whereas Tom Cruise's Night and Day did, another typical action spy thriller. Finally, Point Break starring Keanu Reeves. It's exactly the movie I expected it to be, a non-stop action film. It's goofy and total popcorn fun. So that's everything I watched this summer. I also reviewed Collateral, Eyes Wide Shut, and Sleepers on my channel. Those were first-time watches as well. Love all those movies. The reviews are on my channel still. I still gotta watch House of the Dragon, also catch up on my viewing of Dexter. My roommate loves that show, so I gotta watch more of that eventually. Well, that's it for me, guys. I had a blast, like I said, this entire summer. Can't wait for summer 2023, but hey, there's still more time left in 2022, so let's enjoy the rest of this year before next year. Of course, though, guys, if there's anything you want to share that you saw for the first time this summer, definitely let me know below in the comment section what that might be. And of course, as always, if you're new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.